started living on a Tuesday. It was when the sun was just coming up. People call it dawn. A while ago, some smart person divided the day up and gave it numbers. The number I began on was a 7 exactly. Sometimes they give numbers in between the numbers, so you could have a whole bunch of numbers be when you start. But not me. I started right at 7. I started breathing. That's what I started. And some other stuff with my insides. Like a machine. Like a car. Or a lawnmower. But I think breathing is the key. That's when you know you're still going. When I'm very still. And I can feel air going in and out. I know that I'm still going. Like a car. A car stops going when it runs out of gas. It stops breathing. When a car's going, it sounds like it's breathing. I drove a car once. I shouldn't have. I got scared. When I get scared, I make sure I'm still going by sitting still and breathing. It helps. I call it still breathing. That's what I was doing before I started talking. But I had to stop because I had to talk. I'm still breathing, don't worry. I just stopped, still breathing. But I needed to talk about when I began. It was a 7, but it was also 1,908 and a 1. That number is how long it's been since a famous guy named Jesus started. But I heard that isn't really accurate, because no one really knows when he started. I think that's silly, because he was so famous. Why wouldn't people be all happy when he started and remember it? I can't remember a lot, but I remember the number when I started. And I'm not very famous at all. But I was on the TV today. I was on at 6. There are a lot of numbers about me. Even December, which means cold and presents, has a number. It's 12. That was another number I had for my start. The guy named Jesus had it too. My dad says I'm going to meet him soon. That will be fun. We can talk about how we both have 12 for when we started. And I have it twice. My Tuesday was a 12. But not every Tuesday, and not every 12. It's hard to understand. I won't confuse you, just trust me. 7, 12, 12, 1, 981. That's a long number, but that's when I started. At least, that's what people say. I don't really remember. I can't remember a lot. I think that I have always breathed for as long as I can remember. Sometimes I tell people that I've always breathed, and I always will. They laugh at me, but they shouldn't. It makes sense. If I didn't always breathe, what was I doing before I started? Whatever it was, I would have been surprised by starting to breathe because it would have been different. I remember when things are different. I remember when the girl stopped breathing. Because then I had to move, and things got different. That was 2 years ago exactly. I remember that, and I can't remember a lot. I also remember it because I got scared. When things are different, I get scared. I have to start still breathing when I get scared. That's what I was doing just before I started talking. I was doing it because I got scared. Because things will be different today. Today I have to stop. But I don't think I ever started. because things would have been different when I started and I would have gotten scared. But I couldn't have started still breathing to be not scared, because it would have scared me more, or because I would have been afraid of breathing. So it only makes sense that I've always breathed. But I can't tell people that I always will anymore. Today things will be different. But the people all say I won't need to be scared. They say I won't feel it. They're going to sting me with metal, just like they did when my side was hurt. I could see red all over me and even some of my white bone, but it didn't hurt once they stung me. They didn't sting the girl, though. They just covered her up. The sheet was white, but it changed color when they covered her up. It turned pink. It wasn't moving either, which meant she wasn't breathing. I should have told her to still breathe like I was. I don't think I would have gotten in trouble if she had kept breathing. I don't like getting in trouble. I was in big trouble when I started the lawnmower. That was a long time ago. That was when I still had a dad and a cat. They took me away when I got in trouble then. My dad yelled at me, which made me cry. But when the people took me, I was scared, which was worse. I had to still breathe a lot, because things were different after that. And I get scared when things are different. I still see my dad sometimes. He smiles and acts like I don't remember him yelling at me. I don't remember a lot, but I still remember him yelling. His face was all wet and it was red. It was so red that his eyes even had little red lines all in the white, and it made them look pink. Just like my cat. My cat was white. I called it white. But I made it pink. I just wanted to make the lawnmower breathe like a car. Dad yelled at me because I wasn't supposed to use the lawnmower. If I hadn't, white would still be white. And things wouldn't have been different. I just wanted to make it breathe. My cat used to breathe. It wasn't as smart as me, though. That is why I owned it. That's why my dad owned me. Because he was so smart. Then the other people owned me because they were smart, too. But my dad was nicer than they were. Except for when he yelled at me. He said I wasn't smart. He was probably right. If I was smart, I wouldn't have driven the car. I saw it outside and no one was watching me because I was going to the bathroom. I heard it too. It was breathing real loud. I crawled out the window and walked over to the car. It was red. Red cars go faster than other cars. I wanted to go fast. I got in and pushed things to make it go fast, like they do on TV. I like TV. But it doesn't breathe. All it does is hum, and you can only hear that when you tell it to be quiet. Otherwise, it just talks and makes music and explosions and screams. I made an explosion, and the girl made a scream. But it wasn't like on the TV. It was different. It was much scarier. I had to still breathe. She wasn't scared. She wasn't still breathing. She wasn't breathing at all. That's why I have to stop breathing too. I'm gonna get stung in a few minutes, and then I'm not gonna be able to still breathe. But I want to, because things will be different. That's why I needed to start talking. I needed to talk about when I started, because today I'm going to stop. I have numbers for that too, but I can't remember them. I just know it is very soon. When things are different, I may not be able to remember numbers anymore. I don't know what I will be able to remember and what I won't. I've never stopped breathing before. But if I can't remember numbers anymore, I want you to remember the numbers that I stopped on. Because they will be important, I think. Because things will be different. I remember when things are different. I get scared when things are different.
I'm still breathing.